Last Minute Man, and we are back here today at the Man Cave. I'm with my good buddy, Mr. Obvious. And Mr. Obvious, what are we talking about today?
Oh, scope. Scope's always vortex scope. vortex.
I'll tell you what, this is a dandy. And we mounted this on a designated marksman rifle build that Mr. Obvious and I have gone into. And thanks to American Gun and Pawn for actually providing the rifle. We purchased the rifle, but they did build it, and we're just kind of setting this up for designated marksmen, so moderate to long range shooting, and if called upon, it can still be a run and gun rifle. And we put what kind of scope on this, Mr. Obvious?
Oh, we put that Vortex Strike Eagle on it 1x8, and it is great.
It is awesome. Now, we haven't shot it yet, but I'm really excited for this thing. Because when you're doing your running gun stuff, which is the stuff I like to do, out to 200 yards, I can throw that thing over to a red dot and get quick acquisition on targets, or I can zoom in for, it's an 8 power for your medium range, 400 yards. And we will be doing that, bringing that to you soon. In the future, we got rained out today.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to do that. We actually, Mr. Obvious went up to the American Gun and Pawn and just picked the scope up today. So I am really thoroughly excited to playing with this. But, so what do we want to talk about, Mr. Obvious? Are there other things going on in the world today that we think we want to talk about? Things, get our 2 cents in on?
This whole world is upside down, let me tell you. People just don't know how bad it is. But don't be alarmed. Don't get your bowels in an uproar.
Well, one great thing is the American people, we are resilient. And we are a tough people. And, we're seeing some pretty crazy stuff going on right now. And, I'll just be blunt, be frank. The president came out with a speech. The iconography he was using, the cinematography and everything that he used when filming that is frightening. I mean, to say the least. Sure. It is very Hitlerian. This is the kind of thing Mussolini would do, or Hitler would do, or even Mao Zedong or Stalin. For some reason, dictators really like being in front of a red backdrop with soldiers standing behind them, telling you in one breath that MAGA Republicans don't support the Constitution, and then in the same speech says, these MAGA Republicans that don't support the Constitution, but we're going to limit your rights by limiting firearms, and we just passed that thanks to me. All right, that's insane. He just said he's going to trample all over your Second Amendment rights, in the same breath saying conservatives are anti-Constitution. Explain that one to me. It's a bit of a paradox, don't you think?
Yeah, and he keeps calling it a democracy. Are we a democracy?
This is not a democracy, people.
I didn't think it was.
I'll quote Benjamin Franklin when they asked him what kind of government do we have. He said, a republic.
A republic.
A representative constitutional republic, if you can keep it. And those were his words. This is a republic. Anytime somebody tells you, it's a democracy, stop them right there. Tell them to go read a book. This is not a democracy. This is a republic. Yep. And all you have to do is look at ancient Greece, and you'll see what a democracy was. And basically, it was anybody who had to work for a living couldn't vote. Because you had to plow the fields, you had to work, you couldn't go and vote on every single issue that was taking place. So they developed a republic, a representative government like we have today, where we can elect a person to go speak on our behalf. And it's really the best thing going. I mean, it's not perfect, but pretty damn good. And, the Constitution pretty much spells it out. Freedom of speech, I think that the president would be very happy to remove our freedom of speech. I mean, you've already got digital commies out there, or digital fascists, that want to keep you from having an opposing point of view. They don't like any view that goes against what they think. So they'll do anything they can to restrict free speech in that way. Now, having said that, we're on YouTube here, and YouTube has given us a platform, and we do appreciate it. You will never hear me call to violence. Mr. Obvious and I are against violence. It's a last resort, okay? Thank God we do live in a representative government, because we don't need an F-15 fighter jet, as the president said. We have pen and paper, and we can vote. We can vote his keister out of there.
People, if you're way to the left, come back center, because guess what? If they get their way and they get all it voted in, and you all of a sudden go communist, they're coming after you next.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think for a second they're not. You're next on the list. It's all coming down. Crap rolls downhill to everybody.
And trust me, you're not one of them.
No.
They think that they are high on this mountain overlooking like Marx,
Yep.
and they can see all of us, the bourgeois, and we're all down here, and we just don't know any better, and we're sucking our thumb, and we need Big Brother to help us. That's not the case. Americans are very independent. We are very much free thinkers. There are ignorant and dumb people amongst us. You know, like we were saying though, your dad was a World War II veteran.
Mm-hmm. Battle of the Bulge.
Fought fascists. He killed fascists. The man had to kill Nazis. Okay? Mm-hmm. And he was a party line Democrat his whole life. My grandfather, also at the Battle of the Bulge, had to kill Nazis, kill fascists. Okay? And he was a party line Republican his whole life. Both of them fought with distinguished, okay? They fought for their country. Both of them got Bronze Stars, okay? Both of them were what I would call heroes, you know, like all those men in that generation were. The country called, they went and answered the call and stopped the spread of a terrible ideology. But this president has just stood up and called us fascists. Called me a fascist, okay? Because I don't agree with taking people's guns away. I don't agree with taking people's rights away. I'm completely against that. I will stand against that to my dying breath.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way I will ever agree with taking away people's firearms. That's wrong. I don't believe in taking away your freedom of speech. I don't believe in taking away your ability to being secure in your personal possessions. Okay?
Look what's going on.
Fourth Amendment.
In China.
Well, it's...
They've got them people locked up in their house over there.
And, you know, unfortunately, I think there's people in our country that, you know, I think they're into BDSM or something. I don't know. They like being tortured or something. They want, oh, daddy, govern me harder, daddy. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, people. Trigger warning here. But that's what they want. It's like they enjoy this. They get something out of it, and I don't get that. I think there's some creepy things going on here. And I heard another fellow that I listened to here on the YouTube made a good point, and I thought this myself. I think they're trying to bait us into having a visceral response. You know, when you say things and you're standing in front of a blood red background and you're calling us Nazis, when you're the one acting like one. You know, you're the one standing in front, you know, and I'll show pictures. Again, warning, you may find this offensive, but when you look like this, and the fascists look like that, and I don't know, they look very similar to me, and kind of creepy, but yeah, I think he's definitely trying to get people to say radical things, and we're not going to take the bait, we're smarter than that. I will say, however, you know, don't underestimate the American people. We're not stupid. You know, we're going to vote you out. Your all's days are numbered.
It's coming.
Okay? And I don't care if you got an R in front of your name, or a D in front of your name, or if you've got an I, or an L. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian. Don't care. I care about what you are actually doing. You know, I had some people attack me, well, not really attack me, but disagree with me strongly, because I support Tulsi Gabbard. I support Tulsi Gabbard as or her foreign policy, basically, is the reason I support her. No, I don't believe in universal basic income or anything like that, but she's got the right idea coming from a veteran's perspective of not intervening in foreign war. We have no business in the Ukraine, people. You know, and then so again, Mr. President, you know, you're saying you can't fight off F-15 fighter jets. Then why the hell are you sending all these weapons and stuff to Ukraine? You're sending them an awful lot of AR-15s or M16s. Okay.
And all of our ammunition.
Yeah. And so what? It's an uphill battle that's useless because the Russians have aerospace technology and nukes and everything else. So, I mean, why the hell are you sending all of our money over there? You idiot. You know, so you got these buffoons that want to spit in your ear and tell you it's rain. Don't listen to them. But at the same time, don't take their bait. He was talking in the speech about people getting violent and, oh, it's going to be violence. I have not heard a single conservative speaker say that they agreed with any kind of form of violence. I mean, who the hell would agree with that? We still have the ballot box. We can still vote, and we're winning. The people will win, okay? So why would we want to go out and be violent? We're not Maxine Waters out there shaking her fist saying, oh, if you see them at the grocery store, you know, approach them, make them uncomfortable. You know, we're not the ones calling for violence, people. It's them.
It's them.
They're the ones calling for violence.
Whatever they say, turn it the opposite way.
Yeah,
probably
it's reflect. Yeah, they're absolutely they're the ones calling for violence.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, I want to be clear to my veteran buddies out there, everybody who served your country, especially you guys, because you've seen combat, and you do have a propensity for violence. Anybody who has served in combat, you know, you've seen it, you know what it's like, and you know what to prepare for. Do not engage in this stuff. When they're out there with Antifa and all this, waving a flag saying F life, and they're talking about pro-abortion and this, and saying F your babies and F Jesus and all this stuff, that's the kind of stuff they do. Very incendiary comments. They're trying to get you fired up. Do not engage with these people.
No.
Do not. These are radical, crazy people. Do not engage with them. Stay home. I know some people are going to say, oh, don't be a coward and run from. No, let them walk up and down the street. Ignore them. Okay? Because when a little kid's throwing a temper tantrum, you take them outside, you set them outside the car, and you turn your back to them and wait till they finish. Okay? Just let them have their tantrum. Go to the ballot box and vote. Okay? Do not engage these people. Please, for the love of God, do not engage these people. No. These people are crazy. They will provoke you. They will pull a gun or a knife on you, and you're going to have to defend yourself. Okay? These people are insane. Know what you're dealing with. Okay? You have a sphere of influence. You've got some of you have Facebook, some of you have co-workers, friends, family. That's your sphere of influence, you know. If you're living a good life and you can influence them in that way, well, how can I have what he has? Well, he works hard, you know, and he believes in the Constitution and in clean living, and have a very sober look at what's going on around you. You know, do not take the bait, folks. Do not take the bait. You know, avoid violence at all costs. We are going to win this November. Okay? Now, when I say we, I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm talking about the American people.
We're going to win bigly.
Bigly.
Bigly. We're going to win bigly.
And it's a fact. It's the... Okay, now, we've got some Republicans that might as well be on, you know...
Some of them needs voted out.
Yeah, they need to go. I mean, we're pointing two fingers back at us because we got Mitch McConnell here. Yeah. He's not going to run again.
They're Democrats and they're registered... Republicans, and when they get voted in as a Republican, they're acting like Democrats.
A politician's a politician is a politician, you know. So really look at people's record, look at what they really sincerely believe, what kind of life do they live. You know, Rand Paul, I'm a huge supporter of his. Yeah. That guy's got my vote all day, every day. Yeah. You know, we're blessed to have a politician like Rand Paul. Yeah. But I don't think he really gives a damn what anybody thinks about him. He wants to do the right thing, he basically says government just needs to get out of the way and let the American people handle it, which is the way I believe.
They're too big and they're too bloated, and it's going to get worse and worse unless they...
And they want their power.
Cut them back down.
They want their power. Yeah. And that's kind of like somebody drowning. They're flailing. You got to wait for them to drown before you can rescue them. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's what's going on here. It's these death throes. They're doing everything they can to incite people I'll just say it again one more time. I'm going to hammer it. Do not take the bait. Do not take the bait. Okay? If they perform violence on you, you're going to retaliate, and that's the shot that's getting filmed. Is you retaliating, not what they did. Okay? So stay away from these people. You're not going to convince them. They're crazy. Stay away from them.
They will be judged by their maker someday for what they did.
Yeah.
So remember, you politicians out there, you will be judged.
They don't believe that. They don't believe
They
that.
don't believe in God?
That's no. They have no fear of it.
Wait till your day comes.
They have no fear of it whatsoever.
Wait till your day comes.
Yeah, they have no fear of judgment whatsoever, and that's
And
quite.
You will be judged, and it's not us going to judge you. It's the
No.
old man up there. And
Yep.
shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, that goes for a lot of people. But yeah, these people they sincerely don't believe that. If they believe that even a little bit, there's
Yeah.
no way they'd be acting the way they're acting.
No.
They're selling us out to China and everyone else, people.
Yeah.
So prepare yourself physically. Be in shape, a shape other than pear or round. I'm working on mine. and always try to improve and get better. Improve your living situation. Have backup energy sources. If you were going into winter here, it's a good idea to have firewood or LP gas or some other way to heat your home in case of an emergency, because anything can happen. A heavy snowstorm can knock out your power, or you can have rolling power outages.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't know what's coming down the pike. Be prepared, but be sober. Be aware of what's going on around you. Do not take the bait, people. Do not take the bait. And that's the last time I'll say that. Is there anything else we want to mention, Mr. Ravies?
I thought we was talking about the scope, but somehow we ended up in La La
We
Land.
bamboozled you.
We're in La La Land now.
We snuck that in there, but no, I thought it was something that needed to be mentioned, needed to be said. We are going to be bringing you some awesome stuff with these scopes, and I can't wait to really do a full-on review of this rifle. And everybody, remember, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry.
Subscribe to Last Minute Man.